This is the South China Sea, where there's currently a lot of geopolitical tension. The reason is that China is trying to take control of the entire area. The South China Sea spans 3.5 million square kilometers, stretching from Singapore to the Taiwan Strait. Because of China's claim, countries like Malaysia, Vietnam, the Philippines, Brunei, Taiwan, South Korea, and Japan are all concerned. About 80% of the Pacific Ocean sea trade passes through the South China Sea, and China is aggressively building military bases in the area. In response, the US has surrounded China with its military bases, intensifying the geopolitical tension. Some analysts even suggest that World War III could start here. In this video, we'll explore why the South China Sea is so important to the world, why China wants to control it, and what the consequences might be. About 30% of global trade passes through the South China Sea. Every year, 11 billion barrels of oil and 190 trillion cubic feet of natural gas flow through these waters to Southeast Asian countries. The South China Sea connects the Pacific Ocean to the Indian Ocean, making it a crucial trade route. Whoever controls this sea controls 30% of the world's trade. 5 countries claim different areas of the South China Sea based on the United Nations Law of the Sea. According to this law, each country has rights to an exclusive economic zone extending 200 miles from its coastline. For example, if oil is discovered within 200 miles of Vietnam's coast, Vietnam has the right to it. The rest of the sea, not covered by any exclusive economic zone, is considered international waters. All the countries in the region make claims based on this exclusive economic zone law, except China. China claims historical rights over almost the entire South China Sea, marked by its 9-dash line. After World War II, when Japan lost control of the area, China drew this line, declaring 90% of the South China Sea as its own. Even after the UN established the 200-mile exclusive economic zone law in 1973, China refused to recognize it, insisting on its historical claim. At the center of the South China Sea are the Spratly Islands, uninhabited islands claimed by China, Vietnam, the Philippines, and Malaysia. These countries want control of these islands, because with this, they can extend their exclusive economic zone. China is building military bases on these islands, which brings the US into the picture. Although the US has no territorial claims in the South China Sea, as a world superpower, the US sees China's growing military presence illegally. To counter this, the US is surrounding China with military bases, from Japan's Okinawa and Miyako Islands to Taiwan, the Philippines, and Vietnam. The US strategy also involves alliances like AUKUS, a military agreement between the US and UK, and Australia to monitor the Pacific Ocean with a submarine force. From China's perspective, the US strategy is very aggressive. China's trade routes, vital to its economy, is surrounded by US bases, which could block these routes in a conflict, potentially crippling China's economy. China, now the world's second-largest navy, is aggressively trying to secure control of the South China Sea. China's military spending has skyrocketed from just $9 billion in 1990 to $224 billion in 2022. China aims to protect its trade routes and wants to become the world's largest economy, challenging the US for global supremacy. For the past 80 years, the United States has stood as the world's unrivaled superpower, shaping the global order with its unmatched military might, economic strength, and technological innovation. While history has seen the rise and fall of empires, the US has consistently demonstrated an unparalleled resilience and capacity to adapt to new challenges. Today, many speculate that China could be the next global superpower. With its rapid economic growth, military expansion, and strategic alliances, most notably with Russia, China is certainly a formidable contender. But let's be clear, the United States is not just another empire waiting to be eclipsed. It is a nation built on the principles of freedom, democracy, and innovation, and it has shown time and time again that it is capable of facing down any challenge, no matter how daunting. The US will use every tool at its disposal to maintain its position, whether by safeguarding its trade routes, strengthening alliances, or flexing its military muscle in strategic locations across the globe. The United States is surrounded by allies and fortified by the most advanced military technology in the world. China may be on the rise, but it is far from unstoppable. In this race for global dominance, the stakes are higher than ever. Yet, despite the mounting tensions, there is a prevailing confidence that the US will continue to lead. The spirit of innovation, the power of diplomacy, and the strength of its military will ensure that the US remains at the helm of global affairs. You know how they say that history favors those who are prepared, resilient, and relentless. The United States is all of these, and more. As tensions rise, we can be assured that the US is not just holding its ground, it is ready to defend its position as the world's leading power. The road ahead may be challenging, but the outcome is clear. The US remains unbeatable. If you enjoyed this geopolitical video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.